Broadcasting from Detroit's Cass Corridor, it's the Metro on WDET. I'm Tia Graham. As the World Cup ends this weekend, one thing that remains a talking point for visitors to the U.S. is food. Chef Nick Sanchez stops by to talk about the importance of culinary diverse foods that we offer right here in the Metro Detroit area. And for the last month, Americans have been watching soccer, with the World Cup being played on U.S. soil for the first time in more than 30 years. With people from around the globe visiting the States, the tournament has highlighted a sharing of cultures, not only as people show off their own communities in support of their national teams, but also as tourists try American cuisine. Videos on social media have shown people from Europe coming over and being impressed by the food, and not just the good food, with tourists also being impressed by simple things like American fast food. That raises the question of what makes the culinary landscape in the U.S., a country founded by immigrants, so different. Joining me now on the Metro is Nick Sanchez. He's the director of the Patchwork Culinary Project, which helps give immigrants culinary training. Nick, welcome back to the Metro.
Thanks for having me back.
Of course. There's so many people right now coming to the U.S. for the World Cup. Of course, they've been able to immerse themselves in our culinary scene here. Why is U.S. food better than, I don't know, beans on toast?
You just said it, beans on toast. So I remember when we first moved here, I was 12, and I experienced a similar reaction to American food, like ranch, for example, because we had no ranch back there. And I can totally relate the love for it, because I was the same way. Everything goes into ranch. So I totally embraced the Michigan just Jets into ranch, and it's awesome. Same thing with fast food. I remember my very first time eating Taco Bell. I was probably 12, 13. It was a huge experience for me. And I think it was just the Monsters Inc. first came out and they were doing a promo. I remember that.
Yes.
So yeah, it's just, I don't know. It's maybe it has something to do with the fact that, this is the promised land. This is America. This is the greatest country on earth. So it's like you just immersed in that cultural element of it. And then I'm sure there's a little bit of flavor enhancers and certain things that might not be allowed in European food or other countries that's allowed here in the United States.
We know that's true.
So it's a little combo deal of those things.
I love the idea that you tie Monsters Inc., of course. I love Monsters Inc., and then Taco Bell together, and that's a memory for you. Mm-hmm. Do you remember the meal?
I think it was just some beef tacos.
Okay.
There might have been a chalupa in there or something, just because where I come from, Russia, we didn't have anything like that. Not just fast food, but Mexican flavors, even though it's not authentic Mexican flavors 100%. Yeah. But that, so it was eye-opening for me, tasting that kind of food, yeah.
Is it fair to consider the diversity of food in this country to be a quintessential American experience?
I think so, because when people come here from other countries, and they've been doing that for centuries, they bring their food and culture and their flavors with them. And those flavors, eventually become our daily meal staples, like hummus, guacamole. So you had some spaghetti. Those are things that came from other countries, and now they're like, oh, what are we having for dinner? Oh, let's go get some tacos.
Yes.
That's not necessarily initially American, So there's a lot of foods like this that just became part of our daily consumption, and we don't even realize that they're from a different country and a different culture.
Exactly. My bag of spaghetti you're talking about, Ziploc bag of spaghetti I had. But yes, you're right. That's something that is not traditionally thought of as an American food or recipe, but yet here we are. Exactly. Yeah. So what do you think of fusion foods, and are they a good thing, or do they maybe water down people's perception of a culture?
I mean, there's two ways you can look at it. One is like you're being a culture vulture and you're stealing from this other country's identity or whatever, you're making it your own. But also you can look at it in a way of that by maybe mellowing it out a little bit, you're able to expose more people to it, and get them interested in that culture's cuisine, and then maybe they go and try the whole authentic thing for themselves. So it depends on your mindset. So to me, I think it's not necessarily a bad thing. Granted, I'm sort of guilty of that myself as a chef because, I mean, I would go to different ethnic markets, different stores, restaurants, taste the authentic food and then, massage it and make it my own. So I think it's not. I don't think it's a bad thing.
But when you're doing that and you are blending different flavors and different textures and recipes, different things like that together, doesn't it make that cuisine or that meal that you're making feel a little bit more like home for you?
Yeah, for sure. Because it's not even making it like home for me. It actually makes me feel like I'm traveling to that country of where those folks came from, and I'm experiencing their culture. And my first restaurant was in Hamtramck, and I loved being there because when I was doing construction in there myself, I would walk outside in the evening time covered in dust or whatever, and there would be like flags of different nations hanging, and there would be a call to prayer, and it would transport me like I was somewhere else, like I was not in America. So that was really cool for me, and I loved being there, and I enjoyed that, experience. So
it's the Metro on WDET, Detroit Public Radio. My guest is Nick Sanchez, director of the Patchwork Culinary Project. With the World Cup final this weekend, we're talking about how immigrant communities impact America's food landscape. Now, through people from Europe all the way from South America and the Middle East coming to the U.S. to experience the World Cup, the demonstrations of goodwill and just everybody getting along with each other, what does that do for the immigrant communities already living in this country, especially at a time when some groups of people may not be feeling welcomed or wanted here?
I think it's helping to show that there is some cohesive understanding of other cultures and that we all are here together. I think the news makes it seem like we're very divided. We hate each other. We don't want folks here from other countries. But especially in this area, we're not like that. I mean, just driving on my way here, I passed a little Asian neighborhood in Madison Heights. I passed Hamtramck, which is Polish and Middle Eastern. And it's just, we all live together. We all work together. We're all, in the same community. So I think seeing other cultures being embraced and celebrated, maybe it makes folks that are living here and have been living here more appreciated and embraced and like, okay, cool, you like our culture, you're rooting for our team or whatever because I'm your neighbor. That's awesome. So I think it's definitely helping to maybe open people's minds a little bit and understand that we're all here together. So,
Nick, that's one thing I take for granted often as well is growing up in this area, especially Detroit, Metro Detroit, but this area in particular, because I've always been around other cultures and other people and cuisines and different things in general just have opened my eyes in ways that, once again, I've taken for granted. And when I leave this area, I understand how special it is to be here. Does the political climate surrounding immigrants make it more difficult for people to share their culture right now?
I think so. I think people just sort of keep back or keep to their communities, and they don't try to bring attention to themselves. Growing up here from a preteen to whatever, I remember just being super quiet and not talking and not trying to bring attention to myself so people wouldn't make fun of me because I didn't speak the language or I had a thick accent. And I think that's the same approach that folks are taking. It's just kind of like, we'll keep to ourselves. We're not going to bring attention to ourselves and just keep on with our daily routines and, work, raise our children, feed ourselves. Yeah. So the political environment is not the best, and it affects my work a little bit because when I first initially started, I was expecting, oh man, I'm going to be bombarded with folks reaching out. Hey, I'm starting a restaurant or a food truck. Can you help me with that? And I would try and help them as much as I can or in any way that I can. And those calls never came.
Wow.
So I moved on to working with already established organizations like Freedom House Detroit, Oakland Thrive. They have a immigrant business division, Tech Town. So I still try to do something, but it's not necessarily what I initially set out to do.
And is the goal still the same in terms of the work that you're doing now with the partnerships like with Tech Town or Freedom House Detroit?
Yeah, absolutely. The goal is to try and help folks any way that I can, provide any sort of training that I can, guidance any way that I can. I don't necessarily, it's probably counterintuitive, the fact that in today's society, we're on social media or whatever, we try to bring attention to ourselves all the time and promote it. And I don't necessarily do that. Mm-hmm. I embrace the
like the word of mouth.
That and just real G's move in silence like lasagna. It's just I don't bring attention to myself and just move behind the scenes and just get things done and try to help people as much as I can. So
the Little Wayne reference there. Thank you so much for that. I needed that giggle. But what can Americans do to embrace other people's culture through food? I know that that's something that you've been doing as well as a chef, just making sure that you're bringing food to the table that, number one, folks aren't familiar with, but you're making them familiar with it.
Yes. When you're trying something or you're seeing something that you're not accustomed seeing, like a beef tongue or whatever, you're thinking like, what is this, Indiana Jones movie? Like this is weird. I don't want to eat that. This is not what I'm accustomed to. But if it's prepared the right way and you try it, there's a very good chance you're going to love it. And the same thing goes for ingredients or spices that, this tastes kind of weird, like a Szechuan peppercorn or something, and like, this is numbing my mouth. I don't like it. That's the initial thing. Like, I don't like it. But then after a while, like, oh man, this is actually kind of good. Let me get more of this. And during my restaurant days, that's what I tried to do. I tried to sneak in certain little different things that people haven't tried before, and it worked for the most part. There was always someone who'd be like, "Get this out of here! I smell fish sauce, and this is disgusting." So I've had those as well, but it's now fish sauce is pretty much culinary staple in every restaurant. So there you go. There
you go. And just really quickly, 30 seconds or less, quick World Cup prediction. You got any predictions?
So I'm part Spanish. My last name is Sanchez. So I'm rooting for España. So they are in the final. So I'm hoping they go all the way. So yeah.
That's it. Nick is hoping for España to take it all the way home. Right. I do not think producer Alex McLennan agrees with that statement, but it's fine. Nick Sanchez is director of the Patchwork Culinary Project. Nick, thank you so much for joining us on the Metro. Looking forward to having you back soon.
Awesome. Thank you.
The song you're hearing right now is by Grammy-winning reggae band Steel Pulse. They'll be in town, so you can see them live at the Concert of Colors on Sunday on the North Lawn at the Detroit Institute of Arts. Coming up, a radio tribute to the late Ishmael Ahmed, founder of the Concert of Colors, which starts today. That's next on the Metro.